Urgot definitely going to go in the hands of Bwipo on the top side of the map. Last time he busted this pick out, it came out of nowhere, and it was a huge performance.
Yeah, Bwipo definitely long-time Urgot player, super comfortable on this champion. And with an Elise, you can definitely get those kills onto Gangplank. So we'll see how it actually matches up with Clutch. What is the response for the bottom lane going to be? We're expecting some mages. Not disappointed. Very quickly here, instant lock in there for Cody Sun. He is going to have the Heimerdinger. Now, traditionally for Clutch Gaming, it's always been Cody Sun on a regular marksman, high amounts of damage for them in those mid-game team fights. Heimerdinger is one of the mages that is capable of those high heights of damage output, but it does require a little bit more setup from the team.
And looking to neutralize some of the spotlight matchup, the Pyke coming in for Vulcan as well. The potential to just keep fights going with those executes. See if Hylissang wants to respond with Leona. In the past, been considered a counter pick to the Pyke, as you can follow through on most of his dashes.
Definitely makes it hard for lane phase. Another bonus of Heimerdinger is that you set up turrets at your turret, and you can just try and wave clear and let the Pyke roam. So Clutch Gaming may be trying to buy more time for Vulcan to roam around the map and create some extra plays for them. Fnatic, though, they're definitely well accustomed with that style, as Hylissang, one of the most frequent roaming supports in the entire world.
So here's my theory. Lira is going to look to gank top early. He's going to try and get a kill onto Bwipo, put him behind, put him down, as we often see Lira try and set up Huni for success, especially on one of his well-known picks in the Gangplank, which he's had great performances on this split. Whereas Fnatic, bot lane, we're gonna see dives. With the Elise, with the Cassio being able to gain early prio, I would not be surprised to see Rekkles and Hylissang trying to shut down Cody Sun and playing through the star player of Fnatic in Rekkles.
I think Fnatic also have to be aware.
And here we are, back on the Rift. Clutch Gaming, 5-man strong, barreling towards the bottom side of the map, and Fnatic doing the same thing.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go!
This pick, they're going in, they're fighting. There's too much happening for me to play by play, but that's the Lee Sin. Diving to the backside, Vulcan is going to get shut down. The Urgot in the fight, doing so much. That's 2 for Fnatic, that's 0 for Clutch, and this is the start Europe dreamed of.
Oh my! Fnatic are known for level 1 setups. They came into the World Championship with the highest first blood rate of any team, and Clutch go down bottom lane for the schoolyard fight, run straight in, 5-on-5. Both supports get focused at the beginning of this, and you see how both of them try and make that exit.
Vulcan actually goes in to try and stun all of Fnatic, and he ends up just killing himself. Lira on the front line, he can't do much once he's in to then get out, and you can see the reaction from Bwipo. Fnatic pretty much doubling their pre-15-minute KDA after that single play.
And if you're a Fnatic fan, that has to feel good. Rekkles back on an AD carry. Fnatic with a lead before the lane phase even starts. This is something Fnatic fans know and love. But now, a bit of a return to normalcy. No doubt that Fnatic have the lead for now in the early game. 1,000 gold in their back pocket, but they have to continue to look to extend it.
We have to track summoner spells, though. Flash is down for Bwipo, Flash is down for Hylissang. Same for Vulcan and Lira, which means that the laners for CGE aren't actually in too bad of a situation. And again, we talked about it in draft. Lira is the kind of player that loves to play around Huni. He doesn't typically play around Damonte, but as you said, they have a very strong 2v2 that they could look to play around. But it's pretty much all about the solo laners. And the fact that Bwipo does not have his flash means that this is a prime opportunity for Lira to set up a gank towards topside.
And given the struggles of Broxah, last time these two teams face, it's so crucial for him with this positive start to keep it going for the side of Fnatic. Because Lira, a guy who struggled a little bit in the play-in stage, really showed up in that best of 5 and has been pretty solid since. And you see Broxah 0k plus A.
That's a 2 now, though. That's a 2.
That is a 2 now after that level 1 fight. So already a huge improvement, but he has to keep that going because Lira was everywhere last time they played.
And Broxah has fully cleared the top side of the map as that Elise, so possibly looking to the bottom. And bottom is what I want to address in the champion select here for Clutch Gaming, because this is the biggest deviation from normal Clutch Gaming that fans have seen all year long. Cody Sun in 2019 has not played a single mage. Now he is on the Heimerdinger. First professional game for him on the Heimerdinger thus far. We've seen it from a few of the other North American AD carries. Sneaky played it already at the World Championship, as well as definitely being known for it. We'll see how they can actually handle this lane on the bottom side. The theory was to get Pyke some time to roam there for Vulcan. Now, the early game in level 1 and going the way that it did, definitely going to throw a bit of a wrench into their plans, though.
Yeah, but I think that once Cody Sun has completed one of his early items, maybe even just if he goes for an early lost chapter if he wants to, just getting a little bit of mana when he can just sit back and play a little defensively, that's when I think we'll start to see Vulcan looking to roam around the map. But this early on, it doesn't surprise me that he's still sticking around in lane.
And you can see the good vision laid down by the side of Clutch Gaming, denying Broxah's avenues into this lane. Cody Sun and Vulcan giving a lot of respect to Rekkles and Hylissang. Seeing the Elise there, they're willing to back off the wave to give up a little bit of pressure. And the second they see the Elise gone, they can push right back in. So far, a slow and steady laning phase, but not really giving up any advantages to the side of Fnatic. But, X-Flash.
Yep, Hylissang gonna go in for an attempt, and Vulcan will answer. It's very important to watch the state of this bottom lane too, because this is a first dragon Infernal Drake. An early push on bottom side of the map is going to help so much. Clutch Gaming have a Gangplank ultimate from the top side. Level 6 will come online fairly shortly for Huni. And they can possibly, if the bottom lane is perma pushing here with Heimerdinger like you're used to seeing, make an early play setting up for an Infernal.
Additionally, so much harder once Huni does hit that level 6 to get anything done. Poke comes in there from Vulcan. Bit awkward as it means the Aftershock will be now down for the next 45 seconds, but still just trying to poke, still just trying to get lane priority, and they will. We'll secure it with the Heimerdinger, so things going pretty well for the bottom side of the map for Clutch.
But there's so much vision being invested from Fnatic towards the bot side as well. You can see all these wards, the control ward here, the 2 wards that have just timed out for the side of Fnatic. They wanted to make sure that this bot side was safe, and that's what they were using Broxah for earlier on in the lane.
Yeah, I love that, because the vision here is twofold for Fnatic. It accomplishes 2 of their main objectives. Whoa!
Hold that thought. Hylissang going to get stunned up. He's ignited. He might just go down here. They're trying to turn it, though. Vulcan now needs to run for the hills. The ignite is ticking, and it's going to be the 1-for-1. 80 carries killing supports. Bot laners killing supports.
Okay, so pretty even trade with Lira hanging around. That was a dangerous play from Hylissang. His flash not only just coming back up, but the fact that a Heimerdinger was able to find the kill, especially with the state of the wave, definitely favorable for the side of Clutch.
Yeah, I was going to say that the wards for Fnatic accomplished 2 major goals, one of which being contain the Pyke to bottom lane, but Leona is containing Pyke to bottom lane here as they trade support kills and send him back to the fountain once again.
Definitely an overzealous play, I feel, from Hylissang. Whenever you're diving into a Heimerdinger, you're also diving into all of his turrets. And you could just see the triangle that he set up, where no matter where Hylissang went, he was committed to that play. So if it weren't for Hylissang dishing out the damage, they found another pick.
It's going to be Hylissang finds him with the wall. Vulcan now has to run for his life. Blast Cone is there. He will make it out to safety, unspotted. Now can heal up.
Another play off of that ward for Fnatic. They defend that control ward very aggressively. Really nice move for them to chunk down Vulcan's HP once again. And he has to go back to lane. You can see no health potions. Meanwhile, Hylissang has actually seen into the future, and he knows he's going to go back to base a lot. He's got the refillable potion plus a bunch of biscuits, so he's got plenty of sustain now. That actually forced Vulcan to go back. He buys a health potion while the Infernal Drake is taken by Fnatic, earned by that setup.
Now, you will notice that a CS discrepancy is building in the top lane, and this may seem confusing because, well, Bwipo got first blood. Well, the important thing to note is that he spent that first blood money on a cull, so it's much more about later gold investment, but also he didn't have flash, and he knows that Broxah is not going to be playing around him. So you can see he's playing very defensively to avoid plays like
kicked
this.
In the wall, the follow-up is there. He will be able to make it out, forcing the flash from the side of Bwipo. Nothing really burned from the side of Clutch Gaming either. Well played.
So Bwipo's still forced to flash, but you can see that he was playing very far back in the lane. He was trying to be wary of potential gank, and this is just Bwipo doing what he often does, which is play weak side of the map. Sometimes he gets resources, but recognizing that the bot lane is where Broxah wants to try and play through, he's doing what he can to just survive and get through the lane.
That's going to be big. Hylissang now has to run. That's a big tower. Just out of range. The ult is going to come in from the GP, but it's not even needed. A clean kill from the Clutch Gaming bottom lane.
Yep, Gangplank ultimate also used there from Huni to ensure that they're able to finish off that kill. That is one of the globals they're going to have to keep track of. See if Lira actually moves up to clear that control ward, because that has really allowed Fnatic for more of these aggressive plays and containing bottom side. Meanwhile, here's another look at the engage.
So, hook lands onto Hylissang, the stun comes through, ultimate turret to just melt through his HP bar, and then the Gangplank ultimate there is insurance just in case. Honestly, just clean setup from the bot lane of Clutch Gaming.
Yeah, the important part of that play is hitting your skill shot on Heimerdinger, because as you could see, the big damage comes through from those charged up lasers from the turrets, but if you hit your skill shot, that instantly charges them up. That allows them to have the damage. And that's the key part that everybody needs to learn before stepping onto the rift with the big brain.
It's true. And now, Glacial Augment, on top of that, you have the hose on the bottom side. So even easier for both the Pyke and the Heimerdinger to land those skill shots. And while Vulcan kind of expected to maybe lane to leave Cody Sun on his own, he's been spending a lot of time in the bot lane, and it's been paying off for Clutch.
That mid lane dive is going to happen. Lira, he's on his wolves, and they're going to set up for the dive. Here it comes.
Remembers. Stunner for the wall will not connect to Damonte. Is going to try to go in here. Damonte going to flash back. Lira, is he going to go over? He will try to protect, but for now it is just the plates for the side of Fnatic. Single one going over them. Looks like they will go for the second.
See if they can back off in time, because Vulcan is heading up. I think that is just a win-win scenario for Fnatic. Going for the dive, they burn the flash of Damonte as well as still getting money from the turret plate. They avoid the pincer move from Clutch Gaming's bottom lane. And that is just earned money.
Yeah, returning back to the laning phase, we check in. Small lead for Rekkles. Bwipo pretty steadily falling behind, a 20 CS discrepancy. Obviously, the Cole will make up for some of that, but not necessarily the start that he was looking for. Mid lane, Nemesis with the advantage, the extra plates on top of the CS, should be feeling quite comfortable. And the hook, just short of Rekkles.
So now we enter a bit of more of a lull state, as the Dragon is going to be spawning in about 1:45 seconds. Fnatic recognize that they want to try and get this bot lane ahead, given that Hylissang has just hit level 6. Flashes in.
Hylissang flashing in, trying to layer all of the CC, the pullback on there, trying to save the day, but it's not enough. Lira kick to the wall. It's going to be at least one. The Pyke gets the reset, but he has to go right back to the base of Broxah. Disaster for Clutch.
Yeah, Vulcan goes in because he wants to share the money on that kill, but he ends up going down as well. Another kill over to Fnatic, and the bottom lane is going to push for turret plates.
I think Lira should be fine here. The chances of Fnatic trying to force that dive are unlikely. Meanwhile, Damonte is hovering around for a potential roam, and we did see Nemesis also roam down to offer assistance, but this was just Clutch initiating the engage. Starting by landing the stun onto Hylissang, but he just flashes straight onto the Heimerdinger, and you can see the chain CC. He never even gets an opportunity to move. Yes, it ends up being a trade kill, but as Vulcan jumps in, he ends up losing his life, and now 1v1 in the top.
Pushing for the 1v1, might want to try to throw down the ultimate, but Huni's just going to run him down. He wants to finish him off. He's desperate to get him, and he gets it! No! It's canceled! He burns in the duration of the ultimate!
The only way to stop that Urgot ultimate is to kill Urgot, and he burns down at the last second. Damonte being chased out the river, though. I think Clutch are out of the fire.
And Huni gets the big outplay onto Bwipo. I thought he was dead. The chains seemed to spell his demise, but he was just barely able to make the outplay happen. It may have even just been the burn from the Gangplank passive that found that final execution. And it ends up being Clutch Gaming staying relevant in this game.
And I'm not sure if you can maybe input buffer a parlay as you're hit by the suppression.
No, he burned down.
There you go.
Oh, he actually oranged out of it, I believe.
Oh. Well, that's fine. We always... just one of the most staple parts of Gangplank's
Wait, I didn't think you could orange out of it. I thought that you were guaranteed to die the moment the ult hit you.
They just called in and told me that's what happened.
All right, fair enough.
I'll take it.
Today I learned. There you go.
You could have just said you were really smart. You didn't have to. You're like, look, I just remember everything flawlessly.
I, as one familiar with the life of pirates, am familiar with the counter of oranges.
There you go. No scurvy for Huni on the top side, and it's gonna be frustrating for Bwipo. Clutch though, Advantage on the top side, now setting up on the bottom side. We can take a look one more time.
So here we go. You can see that Bwipo tries to force this all in. Honestly, from the very beginning, it looks like it's not going to go in his favor, but the shotgun lane's just barely enough.
Yeah,
and there's the orange. And then he just gets pulled into melee range where he hits you with the auto and kills you.
The power of Citrus here, saving Huni, and it does bring Clutch back into a very decent position in this game. It was going really, really heavily for Fnatic after their bottom lane focus, and they're still going to have to worry about Rekkles because Rekkles is so incredibly strong at the moment with those 2 kills, farming away on Xayah.
And while it has been mostly successful on the bottom side for Clutch Gaming up until that last play, things are going to get more difficult. Xayah now taking up home in the mid lane. The first item completed with the Essence Reaver there can kind of just unlimitedly push these waves out and use abilities.
All 5 members of Fnatic grouping up in mid now, want to utilize this Rift Tower to secure a couple more plates.
Vulcan using the Ghost Water dive just to scout positioning, see how many members are here. Lira waiting over the wall. How many members of Fnatic will step forward? A ward, not going to get placed. Lira still unspotted. Could now look for the flank. That's going to be huge. Rekkles caught up, locked down. Now needs to make it out to safety. Good damage, but not enough. Pyke is going to pull Nemesis back. He uses the ultimate, but it's not going to be there. Nemesis is going to get taken down. He's burning. He's taking. Is it going to be enough in the end? Nemesis will drop, but Fnatic continuing to look for the fight, and there is no oranges anymore. Bwipo's going to find one, but Clutch are not finished. The double kill for Huni, and the fight will stop.
And a very close fight, but messy execution from Fnatic. They overstay underneath the tower, and Rekkles just gets too close. Good binding setup coming out from Cody Sun and Damonte to really threaten the AD carry and force him out of the fight early, which ultimately forces Hylissang to dive underneath the tower, and this allows Clutch to not only hold on to their mid-tier 1, but trade back 2 kills.
Now let's take another look. As the Rift Herald goes down, big ultimate from Heimerdinger, finds the stun, Rekkles under tower. That's what forces the disengage immediately from Fnatic, and then Vulcan with the re-engage onto Nemesis. Huni ulting down to finish off that kill, and this is the tower dive that gets a bit dirty.
Yeah, it certainly is. The bright side for Fnatic is they're able to at least get 2 kills back, but... Oh, wait. Rekkles just died.
Cody Sun has found the kill. Let's take another look.
I'm going to say, I'm going to guess outplayed, but we're going to see. Maybe just a misstep here.
I mean, Cody Sun having a pretty solid first Heimerdinger game on the pro stage at the very least. And now CG are going to use this as an opportunity to push out bots, steal away the blue buff, gain control over the enemy jungle.
And I do want to say for Cody Sun, you know, he had a fantastic best of 5 to make it into the group stage. You know, phenomenal CSD, incredible KDA, and as we take a look back at this one, he's been struggling so far in the main groups, but here with the help of Vulcan, he just gets to build a little Heimerdinger montage, doesn't he?
So no flash, no ult on the side of Rekkles, and a good hook coming out from Vulcan means that it's actually a pretty easy setup to find the kill.
Yeah, I mean, Heimerdinger with Glacial Augment, you basically can't move on that slow field. Allows them to hit the skill shots and take down the enemy marksman. That is very big because we mentioned Rekkles was one of the Fed members of Fnatic, had the bounty on his head. Definitely giving a decent amount of gold back.
Now working toward the Leandries as well, so we'll shred through some of the higher health targets like Bwipo and Hylissang on the opposite side. Although Bwipo has finished the first item, opting for the Death Dance, wants a little bit more sustain in that potential side lane matchup. Lockdown will be there on Cody Sun, though there should be an easy kill pickup. Fnatic.
Easy come, easy go. Fnatic strike back and they get their own kill. Tower is down.
It's just both supports running around being like, and you will die, and you will die, and you will die. Fnatic, though, going to convert this into a mid-tier 2.
Oh, GP ult, though, coming out, going to try to deny the push. Rekkles, though, picked off. He's going to be forced to ult here. Huni going to get a big barrel. Says, hey, remember when we used to play together? That's going to do it. One shot, one kill from the Pyre at 10 years. You taste of that pistol, and all it takes is one more.
And the game continues to get messy for Fnatic as they misposition, they overstay, and Clutch are finding these opportunities to get picks back onto their side. Note that they have the gold advantage. Damonte is going to find another tower in the top side, and you can't afford to disrespect Clutch because in the time off, they have refined their strategies. They're willing to fight back, and while initially this pick looks good, you can see that Fnatic overstay and give Clutch an opportunity to fight back.
Yeah, that pick definitely was good for Fnatic. Here, pushing too far. You mentioned Vedius, the support's moving around, you die. Well, Vulcan hooks in Rekkles. Well-placed Gangplank ultimate and barrels there from Huni to get him low enough. Then they actually both go in and are able to take down Hylissang as he eases forward. picking up the extra kill. During this time too, Clutch actually sent Damonte split pushing. So they've taken an outer tower. The top tower killed by Clutch during those replays really opens the map for them, allows them to utilize the Gangplank and Ryze in a similar fashion to what we saw from SK Telecom, pressuring on that map, collapsing now to the objective of Mountain Dragon.
And we got to recognize that hook lands.
Hylissang now pulled back against the team right face first in that Heimerdinger tower, and he's going to go down before the fight even starts. Stopwatch is going to buy him a bit more time. Lira kicking through the entire fight. Massive slow coming in from Cody Sun. They're going to move in with Ryze, but they have to be careful. Nemesis is just immediately going to ult. They give him the setup for it. Now they're going to try to turn it. Damonte running for the hills. Seraphs has been proc, but Bwipo will find the fear, sending Clutch running for the hills. The Urgot healing up, but it's not enough. Vulcan coming through Clutch as Damonte will grab the kill.
And Fnatic, they end up failing once more. Clutch Gaming are continuously punishing Fnatic for these oversteps. Beautifully played from CG, and I wanted to note at the beginning of that fight that Huni 4-0. He had the completed Trinity Force. This pirate is strong. Yet Fnatic choose to force a fight onto him, and his damage with just the Gangplank ultimate alone was monstrous.
Let's take another look at the setup here. Early barrels placed. Really nice shot from Vulcan, pulling Hylissang away from the rest of the team. And you can see big flank by Lira on the outside. Once again, Glacial Augment Heimerdinger doing so much to control the space of these team fights. But this is where they step very far forward, and you actually put the Mountain Dragon objective afterwards into a little bit of jeopardy. But pulling him back in, Damonte finishes off the kill onto Bwipo. So in the end, it also does allow Clutch to stack 2 Mountain Dragons for themselves. Here we go, though. Back out to live. Fnatic setting up towards bottom half of the map.
And they have now been spotted out. Vulcan knows this is coming. Has gotten the Duskblade, of course, getting a lot of gold from the power of that ultimate.
Clutch Gaming right now looking very good. They're in a very comfortable position. Something that we often say for Clutch is you want to put Huni in a position of power, and he's definitely in a position of power. He's feeling very comfortable on the GP. He's even going to be given the red buff as well, and we know that with this composition, you can look to play side lanes, but the team fighting isn't weak either. And we're seeing that in a lot of these skirmishes and a lot of the overall fights, it's Clutch that's coming out on top because of how hard it is to actually close the gap against the CG roster. The fact that you have the Gangplank ultimate, you have the kick from the Elise in, and you have the Heimer turrets, means that there's this area of zone that you were talking about in the last fight that makes it very difficult for Fnatic to be able to keep at the range that they want to.
Yeah, there are a couple of things here. Well, we might have a pick as Vulcan is looking around.
Hook is going to go in, will connect. Broxah goes up, comes right back down. Huni in the midst of the entire team, though. He's going to get picked up before the fight even begins. That's a solid option for Fnatic.
And now it's Clutch that end up getting punished. They think that they've caught Elise out of position, but a good use of the repel actually takes her to safety. And unfortunately, given the positioning, Clutch was split up. One half of the, or 2 members were on the other side of the wall, which meant they couldn't offer that same support, which means that Fnatic find a kill.
Fnatic now feeling a lot more confident as they lay down a bit of vision around this Baron. Start to look to pressure in mid lane. Clutch opting to reset will give them priority over this area. With Cassio, it's very easy for them to threaten. Of course, they're going up against the double mountain on the side of Clutch, so both teams can at any moment with an advantage try to take this Baron.
Yeah, Mountain Dragon is so good at threatening not only neutrals, but also some of the towers here, right? Because your objective push is very, very powerful. They have a Gangplank and a Ryze, both with teleport, that can try and split the map here for Clutch. Now you can see upon revival, Clutch are defaulting to that strategy, the 1-3-1, sending Huni back up topside, and they've already got Damonte down bottom. But the idea there is to try and split Fnatic apart and open up opportunities for picks with that Pyke. Now, Fnatic are looking for a similar thing here with Hylissang on Leona, and the long-range ultimate is what Cody Sun has to be directly aware of. Currently has a stopwatch in inventory, but Broxah is looking to make this a 4-person dive. Almost 5 here, even Bwipo now coming.
Waiting in the darkness. Will Lira drop a ward? Not going to spot it quite yet. Damonte on the bottom side, the Pyke roaming back to mid. Broxah is getting closer and closer to the edge of that vision. Wants to throw out a cocoon, and it could be Huni caught once again. And it's so tense because Fnatic are clearly looking for that pick, clearly looking for that setup.
Yeah, Fnatic doing a good job of taking advantage of that fog of war. You could see the map was so dark for Clutch Gaming, and Fnatic lying in wait. But because of that darkness, they play more safely. They pull off the split push, so no ground gain for either team.
Bwipo does have TP, but he's choosing to group up with his team to make sure that they have numbers to make it harder for CG to be able to push, but their wave clear is so strong, and now Bwipo thinking that he can walk through his half of the jungle. It doesn't really belong to Fnatic right now. CG, as we continue to say, in a very comfortable spot for the time being, maintaining control over the Baron, and that's another thing you have to respect. Heimerdinger's Baron, very potent, especially with a double mountain in the back pocket of Clutch. If they just throw down the Heimerdinger ulti, and they only really need one other member, they could melt that down without Fnatic even knowing.
Clutch instead will not opt to start this one. Right as everyone else backs, Cody Sun just throws down the turret and threatens. Won't be able to make it out of that one. Nemesis did manage to take down the bottom tier 1 while this posturing around Baron happened, but he will not continue to split. Damonte going to be forced to respond to those minions, and it should mean the Fnatic can walk back into the pit and clear out a bit more of this vision. Maybe CG want to look for a play in the setup, however.
Now, I don't think this third Mountain Dragon holds a lot of weight. I mean, Clutch Gaming already have so much power in killing the Baron that if Fnatic send multiple people down to this Dragon, they can threaten the Baron area. Already they're moving into it. Fnatic will quickly take up the mountain, though, and now have some extra true damage for themselves.
Connects. Bwipo, though, too tanky of a target to be taken down. 2 items already, the Black Cleaver and the Death Stance. Going to make things a little bit more difficult if they want to burst through the Urgot in future fights, but almost 5 members of both teams set up around this mid/top side of the map. Baron clearly the focus for both sides. I wonder if we're just going to see a massive team fight around it, or if someone's going to try to get a silent advantage before we do.
I like that we're seeing a much more patient mid-game from Clutch. The last time they played against Fnatic, they were at it, and
that's going to be the ulti. Broxah is going to go up, and he's going to have to come back right back down. If they kill the jungler to start this fight off, they can instead turn to the Baron. That's the shutdown coming in for Pyke, but Nemesis, he's looking for the kill, he's looking for the isolation, and he is. Bwipo's going to snipe him out, and that's all that Fnatic need to set their sights on this Baron. Can they turn back? The Rekkles feathers fly, they're pulled right back, and down goes Cody Sun. Lira next on the list, and it started so well for Clutch, but it turned against them so fast.
Look at that aggressive play from Rekkles, flashing forward for the extra kills there. Nemesis starts it off with the Cassiopeia ultimate, securing that kill. They run down Clutch Gaming and they start the Baron.
Vulcan hovering, waiting in the darkness. Lira now coming back, has the flash, was able to make it out alive. Can he steal this one? It's not going to happen, and Nemesis is running down Vulcan. He's gotten that flash as well. Hylissang's right over the wall. He's not going to find it through the Zenith Blade. Lira now trying to escape, but this is a nightmare scenario for Clutch. They've just given them yet another kill.
And just as I was praising Clutch for slowing the game down, they tried to force a fight. This wasn't a bad fight to force. As you were saying, Drakos, if they found a pick onto the jungler, then making this Baron becomes a lot easier. But look at the split focus. Ooh. You can see that Damonte wanted to try and zone Nemesis away, but Nemesis with the counter engage ulti sets up for him and Rekkles to then just melt through the front line, and the chase begins.
Damonte turned around for a split second to throw that Q, gets stunned up. And as you can see, the reaction from the Clutch Gaming staff there, starting out with the pick, got their hopes very high, but that turned around so quickly as Fnatic strike back.
Just a brutal fight. And the second that both Fnatic carries get to focus on a single member of CG, the fight is not going down under your terms, and as nice as it is to pick off an Elise, it is not how you win a greater team fight. Fnatic, now with the Baron buff, have to keep an eye on what their next move is. For now, it's setting up on the bottom side of the map. Huni will continue to split push, has his flash, his ultimate, his teleport, can still come to the fight if necessary, but I think he's just focusing on getting as much gold as possible.
All right, see what they can get done with the Baron buff. 4-1 right now from Fnatic, with Broxah waiting in the wings.
Just sitting, hovering in Fog of War.
They're going for Bwipo.
Oh, Bwipo all on his lonesome. Sonic Wave, resonating strike. The hook will miss. Huni continues to push on the top side.
Bottom's
of the map.
open.
They're now going to back. Bwipo's now going to back, but that means the inhibitor is open. Huni wants to trade one back desperately, is steadily burning through that tower, but one inhibitor already dropped to the side of Fnatic. Bwipo's there to stop anything else from happening. Fnatic are going to continue to step forward, knowing that Huni, kind of the biggest threat on this team, is not in the fight.
Bwipo has teleport as well, so should the Gangplank show up in the bot lane, we'll be able to respond. Fnatic just going to disengage and be happy with the bot lane inhib. You can understand what CG tried to do there. This was the best case scenario for them, being able to trade inhibitors. And the fact that they've exposed one definitely gives them a few options a little bit later on into the game. But if they tried to 5v5, that could have been the game. So don't run the risk, just concede the inhib and see whatever you can get back elsewhere on the map.
and in a game that will eliminate them if they lose it. That is crucial. You have to play 2 more games today. Starting with a win keeps hope alive, keeps the dream alive. You heard Damonte talk about it earlier. It's been done before. But losing right here just cuts all that hope away.
I really did like that interview, where Damonte was talking about having hope. But the only problem with it's been done before, they're playing Fnatic, who was the team that did it before.
It's like Highlander. There can only be one, Kobe.
And I mean, when we think about Fnatic trying to make that miracle happen again, to try and go 3-0 in the second week, based on this performance, especially after our first game of the day, they haven't looked the most convincing. We've seen a lot of oversteps. We've seen players being out of position, and they're going to have to short a lot up if they want to stand a chance as Clutch looking for a pick on a Bwipo.
Speaking of out of position, Bwipo has definitely been caught out. The GP all going to zone anyone else from coming in. Bwipo gets taken down. That's a massive shutdown. Extra gold to the back pocket of the Pyke.
Second time's the charm for Clutch Gaming. They focus on the split pusher. They try and kill Bwipo, are able to get him this time with multiple members engaging. And they've been able to wait out the Baron. This game is still within striking distance for this team. As you alluded to, Vedius, their #1 plan is defense right now. They're just trying to hold on to their inhibitors, waiting for the bottom one to respawn. And see if they actually pick up the Cloud Dragon before Fnatic get there. There is a small timing window here. Bwipo's got 15 seconds before he can teleport out.
So one of the things for Clutch is by taking this Drake, I believe it won't actually spawn the Elder. So there will still be another Drake, and I think that one of the best ways for Clutch to actually come back into this game is to fight and contest for an Elder Drake to give you more fighting power later on. So they could have waited until the 30-minute mark to then try and spawn the Elder next, to then make it spawn earlier on into the game. But by prioritizing the Cloud, at the very least, an Inferno will be next up, which will still be a valuable Drake to have.
My only problem with that is that they don't have free reign to take the Dragon whenever they want. The only reason they could take that Dragon is that Bwipo is dead.
Sure.
And he was only going to stay dead for 15 more seconds.
And regardless, the ability for Clutch, if they can find a setup around objective, to win fights with the GP barrels, with the Heimerdinger turrets, their static defense options are so incredibly good if they can get to an objective and set up around an objective first. The difficulty comes if they're the ones poking into Fog of War, because you can see 4 items for Rekkles. That is a death cap on the Cassio on top of Fnatic's Infernal Drake. The carry threat, the potential to just get burst down for face checking, is massive. Will not connect here, though. Fnatic continuing down mid lane. Cody Sun potentially caught out once again. Have they managed to lock him down? He's going to lay down the tower. He still has the Zhonya's. He can buy a bit more time. Hylissang pulled back under the tower. Cody Sun needs to make it out to safety. Is still alive for now, but that's going to do it. A perfect pick to start off for Fnatic, but have they overstayed? Fishing now for the hooks. Vulcan can't look for the reset leader. Kicking in. He kicks him into the entire team. That's the Pyke dream. It's everything you can ask for. A big barrel to go on top of Fnatic. They're still turning the fight. I can't believe it. Bwipo, he's still alive. Rekkles is still alive. He shut down Huni. Damonte has to be careful if he overstays as well. He's going to get knocked back. The Realm Warp is going to be canceled. Damonte is going to get cut down. Damonte needs to finish this one out. He flashes over the wall. He's running for his life. 2 members left standing on both sides.
Oh, everybody was jumping after that team fight. They chased them into the jungle. Fnatic strikes back as Clutch had the early lead and forced them into this small corridor. Cody Sun, by the way, got them into this position with 2 stopwatches. He has the stopwatch itself, it breaks, uses the Zhonya's afterwards for another Zhonya's, and then they went out the entire Gangplank ultimate. Hylissang, after the double engages so low here, Lira goes in for the big combo
with
Vulcan.
Look at the Gangplank barrels here as well. Onto the big 3 in the backline. You think at this point the fight is over, but the miasma zones Damonte out of the fight, meaning it's so difficult for him to be able to clean up and actually guarantee a big win for CG.
Look at how these team fights are going. Everybody jumping up and down. And that was a big Nemesis ultimate that made everyone gasp and cover their mouths.
Speaking of gasping, we're setting up for another fight. This time, Cody Sun will not be caught off guard. He doesn't have his Zhonya's, but they do have the setup. Fnatic knows that this one's coming. It's going to be a bloody brawl in the Baron pit. But Bwipo is still dead. Bwipo is picked off. This is the opportunity for Clutch to just take this one. Can burn it down. Smite fight will be going down. Lira gets it. Up against Broxah. Baron going down for Clutch.
And now it's Clutch Gaming that has secured the Baron buff. They fought valiantly to get back into the game.
What?
Oh. This is how Bwipo died.
This is tried to make a backdoor happen into 2 members, and we were talking earlier about Fnatic making these mistakes and Bwipo getting caught out, but that overforce to try and make a backdoor happen was too overzealous, and now Clutch respond by securing a Baron.
The Heimer has a genius hunter. That's why the Zhonya's was up again. Bwipo didn't think the Zhonya's would be there. He has a genius hunter. It's reducing the item active cooldowns and lets him survive.
Unbelievable. Now Fnatic is the team on the back foot with the Baron buff. Ooh, look at the ping's top side. Look at the ping's top side. We can see that Nemesis has his eyes set on Damonte. He's not going to fall for that trap. We'll walk away.
Yeah, there's very little vision on the map right now, side from around Baron. So the split pushing is dangerous work. And every time that you see them slip into the fog of war here, they have to play very, very cautiously. Now you can see all the question mark ping spam finally finding them on the minion reveal here. Clutch Gaming trying to push up mid into the bottom side where Huni already ushered those minions to the tower.
Vulcan and Lira have been so good at finding hooks, at finding kicks in the last few exchanges. Can they find another one here? Have the siege set up, Huni moving on to the bottom side, Cody Sun and his tower set up in the middle, and the rest of the team roaming between the lanes. Will we see a split fight?
Keep your eyes on Nemesis as well. He has gotten multiple big Cassiopeia ults that have turned team fights. You need to turn around, not face the Cassiopeia so that you don't get stunned during that. Clutch Gaming do move back over towards the mid lane to try and finish that turret off.
Huge barrel onto Rekkles. The Gangplank ult follows. They're going to get the ult out early from the side. They're going to have to give up this tower from the side of Fnatic with Vulcan. Vulcan might just look for more. He wants to go onto Rekkles. He's going to grab him. Snipes him out the back. The support hero. Exactly what Clutch need. And now they can continue their siege. Now they can break open the base.
That's absolutely massive. Taking out one of the big carries for Fnatic. Now there's only really Nemesis left to hold the line. Fnatic, they're going to be forced to concede 2 inhibitors here.
And Pyke still has the reset on the ult, can still fish for a play in the next 10 seconds, could look for it, but the siege is coming. Clutch Gaming could look to end the game. The major carry is gone. It's all eyes on Nemesis and Bwipo now to turn these fights. One tower at least, Bwipo pulled back, Weedle dash out to safety. Good play on the input buffer.
Clutch, they're getting a little greedy here. They should just go for the top inhib. They're looking for more picks.
But pulls back, Bwipo misses the ultimate. Trying to protect that creep, but Clutch will back away. They get a single Nexus tower.
Infernal Dragon is on the map for them to pick up. They'll just realm warp right on over to it and even up the late game damage bonus of those Infernal Dragons.
And it's the Huni double Infinity Edge that is coming up clutch for Clutch Gaming. Landing that barrel onto Rekkles to allow for Vulcan to find that execute, as well as now broken open the base for Fnatic. For Clutch.
There are... Fair enough. Both bases are technically open. For North America, everyone is scared of 2 picks for Huni. One is the Rumble, the other is the Gangplank.
Yeah.
And he always builds full damage Gangplank, does not go with the Bruiser, more survivability Sterax version. As you can see here.
Can never have enough swords.
It's paying off.
And you just got to wonder what... I'm hoping for triple Infinity Edge. I imagine at this point it will be a mortal reminder. Or a defensive item, God forbid. But it could be a defensive item. GA technically has a BF sword in it. But every carry outside of Cody Sun is pretty much at full power. One more item going to come in for Nemesis, but already so strong. 4 items completed. Of course, no boots for the Cassio, so the later and later we get, the more that he will have under his belt and still be able to contribute. However, just a very tense, a very close game. 36 minutes in. 4K goalie coming through. Now backing off.
Now, the Baron arrives much quicker than Elder Dragon, which makes it so much easier to concentrate your vision. Clutch, all they have to do is put their control wards around this Baron setup. With the double Mountain Dragons and Heimerdinger, Fnatic have to be very careful about checking this red quadrant. And you can see they're trying to gain vision via the minions by pushing up mid lane first, then trying to transition and deal with that fog of war.
Vulcan is continuing to step forward. Obviously has a ton of mobility when the Mobies are up and available.
And you can see Fnatic. On the bright side, they get a red buff, but they're being pushed back by Clutch right now. And you can see Damonte hanging up in the top lane, either looking for a flank or looking to threaten the inhibitor. Either way, Clutch have full control over the top side of the map right now.
Here they go. They're going to catch Damonte.
Damonte needs to make his way out of this one. He's going to try to flash to safety. The rest of the team is now here. Nemesis taking a ton of damage. Hylissang can't finish this kill off on his own. Rekkles is not in position to fire back, but still, Bwipo will find the ultimate right where it's needed, and Hylissang, still alive, is right in the midst of the fight. The reset does not come through. They're fighting in the pinch. If they continue to push forward, Rekkles will shred through their entire team. They have to be careful. Clutch have to be so smart about how they play this. The hook goes through, but we're going to buy a bit more time. Trying to find a way out. A close exchange. Both sides will walk away standing.
Such an important kill there for Fnatic, taking down Damonte. Once again, he tried to finish off Nemesis, who got the stun off at the last second, barely surviving. That actually allows Fnatic time to clear their base that had minions on the last standing Nexus turret. This buys time for the Baron setup.
And as we're watching this replay, keep in mind that the Baron is being currently set up for by Clutch and will have respawned at this moment.
So this was just a big overstep from Damonte, but we don't have time because immediately we're back into the action. That was a close fight. Fnatic needed it in order to stay relevant in this game, and now they are the ones starting the Baron off.
They have the Cassio. They can't shred through it, but they can't even get their carries into the pit. They might not even want to. Vulcan gonna find a pull back onto Rekkles. Rekkles in trouble. Early ultimate forced out. Now Vulcan can be on the hunt. Now Vulcan can look for the resets. He has the ultimate back up and available. Lira may just try to make his way into the pit. Can use Bwipo as the highway to get there. 4K getting lower and lower. Damonte finds Nemesis. Vulcan can now fish for the resets. Gonna try to find a pick over the wall.
Huni's down.
Fight this one. Maybe they can get something done. Broxah gonna miss out. The Pyke no longer has the ult, no longer has a chance to reset, but Broxah is dead. Revive coming through. Bwipo in the pit. He's taking so much damage, but it's Rekkles off to the side. It's Rekkles. With a matter of moments most, he has to show up.
No smite on
Hylissang misses the ult. It's getting lower. It's getting lower. Why are they staying aggroed on the Baron? Rekkles running into the towers, cannot get anything done, but Fnatic will get it. Lyra can't get into the pit, and now Rekkles steps forward. Now Rekkles looks for the fight. He has the feather set up onto Cody Sun. He's going to bring him back. He's going to find the kill. Fnatic are going to take it. It is an absolute mess, but Fnatic win the day in that exchange.
They stand tall, and Hylissang engages on Lira, denying him entry to the Baron pit. Bwipo was on that Baron for so long, and they are rewarded for it.
Unbelievable as Fnatic are victorious in the midst of this chaos. Look at how Bwipo tanks the Baron throughout the entire fight. Rekkles was so close to death due to some good flanking from Vulcan, and he gets zoned out of the fight. And the moment Nemesis drops, you think, this is it. The fight is over for Fnatic. But then they get the kill onto Damonte, and this is where the chaos ensues.
Broxah goes in and gets the kill onto Huni, one of the biggest threats on their side, but that means the jungler is down. Now we see the very rare jungler-less Baron from Fnatic as Bwipo plays Ring Around the Rosie while Hylissang stops. Now we're back at the live though. Elder Dragon will also.
They're gonna get it too. Double endgame buffs for Fnatic. They have 2 Drakes to back it up as well. Clutch need to make a hold.
What a banger! This one is.
Yes!
Oh, man.
There are bangers and clangers. Not quite sure which one this is.
Well, it is definitely exciting. Clutch, this is their elimination match. They need this win to stay relevant in the tournament, and they can still do it. The base is exposed. Vulcan is just buying time.
Dashing, trying to catch the creep wave.
I mean, he's buying a lot of time here.
It's also a Pyke, and a very fast Pyke.
Where's he gonna go?
I mean, he can go down.
Gonna go down.
And now he can dash out to safety. That's
Run,
not
Vulcan,
gonna do
run.
anything.
Oh, he's making the full circuit. Look at that marathon runner.
1 lap.
That actually delayed so much.
Yes,
You're
so
talking about the power of the Baron buff and the Elder Dragon buff. That was good 30 seconds just.
Look, if League of Legends doesn't ever work out, Olympic runner, just laps around the rift.
We did need a little bit of a breather after that epic Baron.
You mean come out of replay into another fight for 10 minutes?
All right, well, they're still wearing both of them, Baron and Elder Dragon here for Fnatic. So they should be making their way straight to the Clutch Gaming base. Nemesis is on the map now, and he is headed to join the team.
Vulcan looking for the hook, will grab Hylissang. Not the ideal target. Fnatic's still giving a lot of respect over to Clutch. You can see how powerful Huni is. It is the Mortal Reminder as the last item in addition to the Elixir of Wrath. So a single barrel can tear through a lot of health bars.
All right, Fnatic, they're knocking on the door of the base.
Ulti used, Hylissang into the backside, trying to catch out Cody Sun, but a well-timed stopwatch will get Cody a little bit further into the fight. That's going to be the reset that they want. Fnatic need to focus on just the inhibitor. Have to be careful about trying to take anything else. Vulcan will not find the hook. So close, but a good pick off in the end.
That was a good job of Clutch actually splitting the team fight. When Hylissang engages, no follow-up from Fnatic, so that allows them to get 1 kill and maybe stop the losses at just 1 inhibitor. On the side of Fnatic, they are glad to get that inhibitor, but you know, Hylissang too far, and they cannot back him up.
Now you got Fnatic waiting in the brush. They will back in the end, seeing if they could catch someone with Clutch a little too eager to push out these waves. But you can see them taking their time. They're using their blue trinkets very defensively just to make sure that they can even approach these side waves. The Fnatic are not waiting somewhere in the darkness.
I love entering the post 40-minute late game on the world stage because it may look calm with no one speaking, but this is where the team comms get so intense, and you know that one big mistake is going to cost you a spot moving on. This is a must-win game for Clutch. Huni now trying to do some of that work. Split pushing on the side. They do have vision in the river that will see anyone hovering over.
The Baron's not going to be spawning for another minute and a half. Clutch don't need to leave their base. They can chill. They can relax. Finish the itemization on the Heimerdinger. Everyone is pretty much at max level now. Jungler's getting close to that. Itemization going to be near completion for everyone.
We've hit a new milestone in League of Legends Build Pass. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the triple Infinity Edge Gangplank.
Oh! Who needs boots when you can have more swords? Huni, if he lands a single barrel, will blow up multiple members on the side of Fnatic. This is a very scary Huni right now.
True. And I've just had stats feed me a very not as fun stat. This is the most deaths for a single player in a game at Worlds with Hylissang at 9. 3 swords.
That does not surprise
9
me.
deaths.
Living that Leona life. Only goes one way, and that is into the team fight.
Oh, Fnatic looking, but Nemesis so far away. Trying to force a fight now would be dangerous.
Hook's going to come out. Will grab Bwipo back. A lot of members slowed down. The ulti does come out onto Cody Sun. Will now retreat.
Illy ult.
Yeah, that's a big cooldown that they have to watch out for. If Cody Sun throws out that Heimerdinger ultimate, there's a small window where Fnatic could look for the re-engage. It's going to come off cooldown fairly quickly now.
Pyke and a dash out to safety. Is just going to heal right back up with the passive.
The
Constantly throwing these hooks.
Both teams looking each other in the eye, throwing their skill shots. If any of them land, it could mean death. Heimerdinger ultimate about to come off cooldown. The Baron is about to spawn, and Fnatic going to look to rush it down. That's fast!
Can just look to get a triple barrel here. Vulcan is going to get over the wall. Cassio is going to secure it. Massive Baron where the barrel is going to go. Huni hasn't been able to find one yet. Triple IE. What's it going to do for the team? Broxah waiting off to the side. Hylissang going right into the back line. Fnatic now need to find a way forward. Rekkles are stepping in. It's a massive engage from the side of Fnatic. Huni cannot get anything done. So much damage to the Pyke. Now looking for the reset. Now has a chance to restart the Pyke. Huni's going to grab one. That's the shutdown. That's one more kill. Fnatic take the Baron, but it's now a 3v3. Huni will just recall.
Cody Sun trying to catch the wave in the mid lane, but Fnatic still have super minions running it down mid. CG need to get back to base, given that Fnatic secured the Baron, and they still have 3 members alive.
Bwipo's trying to cancel the recalls. Cody Sun has to run for the hills.
Oof!
A lot of damage, though. Have to respect triple Infinity Edge. One more parlay could do it. Minions are going to be there to body block. Vulcan's not going to be able to get anything done. They pulled the creeps to the side, so they will not hit the tower.
Nemesis life-stealing off the minions, and Huni doing a great job of holding the line. 20 seconds still left on Damonte, and Fnatic are going to be forced back. They're looking for the second Elder.
Elder 2 has arrived on the map. We've got junglers still in the death chambers. 13 seconds apiece. They will revive at about the same time. Fnatic will have the setup, though. There is a big minion wave slowly working away at the top inhibitor. I think this Elder is going to be burned.
Fnatic have the Baron empowered recalls, so trying to backdoor probably not this most ideal option. Will go down. Oh, second Elder. Fnatic.
Damonte?
Still stepping forward. Bwipo going to get pulled back, but Rekkles is untouched. They can't just go in like this. Bwipo, though, unafraid, is going to walk face-to-face with Huni. GA will get procced. Huni burning down, though, from the burn. Damonte now has to run for his life. The feathers are going to get pulled back. Rekkles is going to find one. Bwipo is still alive. Bwipo getting kicked back and taken out by the tower from the Heimerdinger. 1 kill apiece, but Fnatic with the most powerful buff you can imagine.
5 minutes on the Elder Drake. Ends up being a 1-for-1. 50 kills in total in this game. Both teams nearing 100,000 gold. But Fnatic, now with a minute still left on the Baron, should be looking to end this game.
Yeah, Elder 2 was designed to be a game-ending buff here. Let's see if they can do it.
GA. Their Banshee's Veil has already been procced. Huni not able to set up the barrels. There's too much attack speed on the side of Rekkles. One is all it would take. Nemesis pulled back to the middle. Teammate connects. Huni now has to run for his life, but he's been slowed. Nemesis now on the chase. He knows if he takes out the triple IE, that so much of the damage threat is gone, but he's taking a lot back in return.
Backing off. Fnatic are actually backing off.
Third Elder Drake!
You can design it whatever way you want. All right, they still have 3.5 minutes with it, though.
All right.
You mentioned the super long duration of this buff. That is part of the extra power here. Look at this. Clutch Gaming, though. They've sent an advanced squad up to the top side of the map to try and pressure. Still 3 minutes, 20 seconds, so Fnatic do have plenty of time to wait for Bwipo to arrive. What is this operation?
Guerrilla warfare, Cody.
They're looking to pick someone off, I believe. Are they going to try and base race it? Their Ryze is going up there. They're too far. There's no way.
They're going to operate in the shadows.
There's no way.
There's no way.
They're going to
8
do
seconds
it.
left on Baron empowered recalls.
Ryze ulti with the minions.
There's no way.
This is too much pressure to put on Cody Sun and Huni. There's no way.
Here they go. They're pinging. There we go.
They're going to start it off. Fnatic are just going to run straight in for the fight. They just need to clear the waves. It's the base race. Cam, give it to us. But now it's just a matter of can they hold on. There's just too much damage. The tower is not enough from Cody Sun. I don't think they can do it. The tower has been broken down. The Nexus has been taken down. And Clutch bet it all and lose everything in the process.
Fnatic, after a hard-fought game, will just barely come out on top. They will keep their hopes of qualifying for the quarterfinals alive, and they will eliminate Clutch. But this was by no means a clean game from Fnatic.
And that is Clutch's elimination moment. And what a heartbreaking way to go out.
They fought extremely hard. Huni really did try his best to put his carry pants on in that game.
Triple Infinity Edge.
Carry swords, to be fair. No pants. He didn't. It's just so exclusively swords. Tried to put the carry swords on. But for Fnatic, a hard-fought battle, a return to 80 carries for Rekkles.
And they've got to stay on stage now. They're going up against SKT next. It doesn't get any easier for Fnatic.
Well, they had 48.5 minutes of warm-up.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely feeling warmed up after that one.
You'd have to hope so.
But commiserations to Clutch. It was a hard-fought game. I felt like they showed a lot of great